Hey guys, welcome to the Coffee and Coaching Podcast. I am Coach Kamara.
I'm Coach Jack G. We hope you enjoy today's episode. We hope you take a lot of value away from it, and we might even make you laugh a little bit.
We started this podcast to help empower and inspire you to take control and create the life that you want to lead.
But remember, everything we say is our opinion. We're not medical professionals. So if we talk about anything that you want to implement into your life, please go and speak to your doctor first.
If you enjoy the episode and you enjoy the podcast, please subscribe, share it with anyone that you think might take value from it. And if you can share it on your social media, it would be massively, massively appreciated.
That's enough of that. Let's get into today's episode.
Quickie number 2.
Quickie number 2.
What are we on today, lad?
So today we're going to give you 3 tools to help you improve your self-awareness.
Why do we need self-awareness?
Why do we need self-awareness? The more self-aware you can be, the more proactive instead of reactive you can be.
Mm-hmm.
So the conversation with someone yesterday, and for most of the people that I speak to and who reach out to me, are stuck in a reactive state. So that's what I call it. You're reacting to your emotions. You're reacting to the day. You're reacting to stress. You're reacting to hunger. You're reacting to the time that you've got in the day, down to like food. Like, I didn't plan my food, so I'll just grab something from the shop, or I'll just grab something from the cupboard. And you're reactive all day. The more self-aware you can become, the more proactive you can become, because you're more self-aware of your emotions. You're more self-aware of how you're going to react in certain situations and how those situations are going to make you feel. And then also, if you're more self-aware, you can feel those feelings without them feelings then having an impact on you and your day. So you can actually begin to be proactive in how you approach your day, how you approach your week, how you approach everything.
You know, in the More Muscle program, the awareness module, one of the things that I wanted to get across to people is, like, by bringing around awareness, you can no longer be, or you can stop being a slave to your emotions. And I think we've definitely spoken about this before, but like, when an emotion pops up, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's right. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to follow through with whatever that emotion is telling you to do. And if you can bring about self-awareness and just really analyze, like, what's actually going on in your head, what your downfalls are, and really just get a bit in the way that you might look at a friend and give them boss advice, but your life's shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can almost have that relationship with yourself if you've got good self-awareness. So what's the first tool?
First one is the one we've just had a big deep dive on with our last guest, Martin.
Well, we haven't done it yet, but
we haven't recorded it
yet. We're about to record it, but you will have listened to it.
But that'll be the previous episode.
So if you haven't listened to that, go and listen to that one.
But meditation was something I resisted for a long time because I didn't get it. I didn't get it as a practical tool, because if you're like me and not very spiritual, then it can be difficult to, especially before you've started meditation and started improving your self-awareness, it can be very hard to let that barrier down, to be like, okay, well, I'll try it. Because if you, like, the state of mind that I was in was fucking stupid, that.
Yeah.
Fucking crystals and fucking moons and all that stuff, lad. I'm not into that. I'm not doing that. Why do I need that? I'll just plug on. I'll just carry on pushing on. And it's not that. But it took me, like, letting that guard down to get past it, to actually use meditation in a way that I can connect with. And I think, even though we haven't recorded the episode yet, I think the conversation that we have with Martin's going to be really good, because we both see it from a completely different angle and connect with it in a completely different way. So that'll be really good, because you see meditation differently to how I see meditation.
Well, how so?
So you see meditation as like I feel like you see meditation as like a connectedness, and you become quite spiritual with it, and you can separate yourself from, like, the whole you and I thing. Whereas for me, it's like hitting the gym. Meditation is a tool that I go to in order to help me
to bring about the desired outcome.
Yeah, to bring about the desired outcome rather than
Which is self-awareness and peace and
yeah.
not being fucking hectic all day, not being a slave to your emotions and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. It's like, it's all that to me, but then a little bit more as well. So yeah. I agree. So like how you can bring about actual self-awareness in meditation. I think once you get into meditation, like you could do loads of guided meditations, and I think when you first start, probably the best thing is to just practice focusing on your breath. But that isn't really going to bring about any self-awareness. That's just going to basically get you into the practice of doing it better. So you get to a point where like you're in the routine, you've got a level of ability to maintain focus on a subject. So whether it's the breath or whatever.
Candle's a really good one, I found. So for a lot of my
just
clients,
looking at a candle.
Yeah, Lucy,
Nice.
Lucy, who we've had on as a guest, done a meditation for my clients for us, and it was just a candlelight meditation, and she just lit the candle, and because of some deep primal thing inside our like oldest part of our brain, we see fire and go, ooh, fire. So for people who struggle to switch their brain off when they're meditating,
yeah, well that's not what
but you know that people have that resistance of I can't sit there, I can't do this. Their brain is too chaotic.
Yeah.
Because it's not had any meditation practice at all. It's just bouncing everywhere, and they're constant. They're not present.
Yeah.
The candle just draw that flame. You can stare at a campfire for ages, can't you? Like it's just that. And I had a couple of people who've been quite resistant to like other meditations that they've tried, and I've said that to them. They've been like, "Oh, that was dead easy." Yeah, I really got into that. I was like, "Okay, good."
Sick.
And then, like you were saying, like I fully agree. That's not enough to create self-awareness. Just staring at a candle, like it's a fucking candle. It just looks nice.
When you
like,
when you get to a certain level, then what you'll start to notice happens is you'll be staring at the candle, or you'll be focused on your breath. Thoughts will come in, and at the start there'll be stupid thoughts about like what you're gonna have for dinner, what happened 2 weeks ago when you like tripped over and everyone laughed. Like stupid shit will pop into your mind. You'll be absolutely blown away at what it is. But eventually you'll get to a point where you'll be able to discern what thoughts come in and what thoughts come out. Oh no, you won't be able to discern what thoughts come in, but you'll be able to decide which ones stay. So when a certain thought comes in, you go, oh, that's a little bit painful, creates a little bit of sadness, emotion, anger, frustration, whatever it is. Then you can choose to allow that thought to stay and let it play out in your mind. And then you can almost have like an element of self-therapy where you actually start to work through your problems, and you start to develop some self-awareness. You start to have honest, authentic conversation with yourself in your head. And that's where the self-awareness comes from for me. Would you agree, or is there anything? So
for me, the best way I ever heard it explained, and I'll just fully just steal the explanation and use it myself and pretend like I come up with it. The best way I ever heard it explained that really clicked for me was you'll notice meditation working outside of the times that you meditate.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I've just done it on the way here. So I haven't meditated for ages. Like it just fell out of my routine, and it's something that I've been working to put back into my morning routine because it's such a powerful tool for me. Driving to the studio this morning, music off, not playing in the car, just silence, because I like driving like that sometimes. And my thoughts started running through my head, and I started like getting a bit angry, getting a bit like there was some thoughts of self-doubt and some thoughts of anger and like a little bit of frustration creeping in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went, I feel angry. I feel like I'm doubting myself. I'm feeling a bit anxious. I'm feeling a bit frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then carried on driving and was able to just see those emotions, like recognize those emotions in myself,
mm-hmm.
and then go, okay, but you're just driving the car to the studio. So what are you actually angry about? You're not.
Yeah.
It's just a thought that created emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Put it to bed. It was like, see it, accept it, just let it get on with it.
Mm-hmm.
And carried on driving. And that's where it's powerful for me. Is that's when I'm like, if I hadn't have meditated consistently for the last week, I'd just got to the studio angry. Or I'd just got to the studio like stressed out about stuff that I've got to do later on today.
Yeah. 100%.
And that was a game changer for me when I realized that was the impact it was having on my life.
Well, that's it. It almost creates like a separation between you and I.
Yeah.
So like, I am not angry, but you is angry.
Yeah.
And so when you can almost create that bit of separation, like your thoughts and your emotions are running wild and your brain's running wild because that's its job, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to step into that and act in a certain way that fulfills that, which I said at the start. So it's like, it's just so powerful in making sure that you are actually acting with intention rather than being a slave to your emotions.
Yeah.
When you're a slave to your emotions, you won't succeed, because self-doubt will always creep in. All these mad emotions will always creep in and they'll come to sabotage your life and your success. And you need to be able to separate yourself from them and crack on. So meditation, super important tool. Next one.
Journaling. Taking thoughts, whether that's goals, visions, emotions, or the things that you like pop into your head during meditations, or just general thoughts of the day, and just looking over your day and putting that down on paper and out of your head is so powerful. I don't understand fully why. I just know anecdotally that if I think something, it's not as powerful as if I think it and then write it down.
Yeah.
However, there is, for people who suffer with anxiety and like overthinking, even if you're not like suffering with any kind of like diagnosed anxiety, but you just overthink a lot, you can't write as quick as you can think. So for people who are massively like, at the end of the day, really stressful day, really busy, like, oh my God, got to do this tomorrow, got to do that, got to do this, got to do that. Your brain can bang about 50 things into your head in like 10 seconds. Try writing them down that quick. You can't. So the physical act of you having to slow down to write slows down your brain and slows down your thought process and actually creates like a calming effect
Nice.
on your brain. So
Sick.
that's like an actual mechanical tool to slow your brain down, as well as obviously the power of actually writing it down and creating that vision.
Yeah.
It's mechanically actually slowing your thoughts down to make you feel calm, which is cool.
I feel like when you start writing as well and you see how actually, oh, it's just that these few things,
Yeah.
it makes it feel like it's not so much of a big thing anymore.
Yeah.
Because when it's all in your head and there's like 100 thoughts flying around and it feels overwhelming, as soon as you just put it on paper and go, oh, so I need to do this, and this sound. And then you can, I think, very, very useful for when you're about to go to bed. And if you can't sleep because you're thinking too much and you've got too much to do the following day, you just write it down in a journal, close it, get to bed, man. I think it's super powerful. But also, going back to the meditation thing, I think if you just continuously journal and build that into your routine, you still get the opportunity to, in the same way as meditation, you just almost get to look at your thoughts from an outside view, in the same way that you can watch the thoughts pop in and decide whether you want to engage in them or not.
Yeah.
You can write the thoughts down and decide whether you want to engage them or not. So it's the same sort of thing, but probably even just a little bit of a more simplistic way to do it.
Yeah. And I think they tie in together again with the whole point of self-awareness. Two of the journaling questions I ask myself every morning are, what is something that will potentially stress or derail you today?
Yeah.
And then what are you going to do to deal with it?
Yeah. Sick.
And that's creating this next level of self-awareness. Like, I'm forward thinking into my day and going, okay, well, potentially this, potentially traffic, potentially this conversation that I'm going to have, or potentially going to fucking pick the kids up from school and you've got to go and see the teacher, whatever it is in your day, you can go, that's probably the thing, or these two things are probably the thing that will fuck my day up.
Yeah.
So if or when that happens, this is what I'll do. Yeah. And then when it gets to that, you go, yeah, did stress me out that. Okay, go to the plan that I put in place this morning when I journaled about it.
The same thing as what you said at the start, in it being proactive, not reactive.
Yeah.
What's the final one?
Understand your values, understanding what drives you and what motivates you.
Yeah. I think that's so big. It's just self-awareness, not necessarily just in, like, I think the meditation and the journaling gives you the opportunity to be self-aware in the moment and day to day, so that you are actually being able to move forward and able to operate at the highest level of efficiency. But like, first thing I do with all my clients is make sure, and it's the first thing on the More Than Muscle program, do your fucking values. Like, work out what your values are. And we go through a process in the program where you'll be given a list of, you just go through the questions. This is a list of your values in order. And once you can actually see that on a piece of paper, you can start to position your life in a way that actually fulfills those values. So if your highest value is the gym, but like you're spending all of your time in work and with family and doing shit that you actually aren't massively inspired by, and you get like an hour to go to the gym 3 times a week, you're probably going to feel massively unfulfilled. But it could be the other way around. If you're trying to smash a physique transformation and you're in the gym for 3 hours a day, every single day, but your biggest value is business or spending time with your girlfriend, then that's not going to be a fulfilling life for you. So once you can actually list down your values and see them and structure your life around that, it's super fucking powerful, because people are always surprised by what it comes up with. It's never what you expect. You've been doing, like, you've been running your life in a certain way, and you'll look at these values and go, oh my god, this is why I feel like shit.
Oh, it's so obvious.
This is why I'm frustrated and angry all the time.
For me, obviously, I work with a lot of parents, and it's like one of your driving values is your kid. Obviously, like that, it always enters into someone's list, whether it's not even number one sometimes, and that's fine. That's not what it's about. But it's on there, and it's like, okay, well, obviously that's your value. You know that. Well, we can use that now for everything that we're doing with your diet, with your training, with your exercise, with your spare time, like stuff that you don't associate with your kids. You're like, oh, well, I want to spend time with my kid, so I'm not going to plan my meals because I want to spend time with my kid. It's like, right, okay, well, how would planning your meals better add value to you spending time with your kid? Like, you're going to have more energy, you're going to have better fitness to run around with them, you're going to be alive for longer, and they're like, oh my God. Yeah. You link all that stuff and they're like, shit, okay, I'm going to go start planning my meals. Because it's connected to the thing that they value most in life.
Yeah.
So now, something that they don't value highly, like planning their meals out for the week, becomes this massively important thing because it's connected to that big value of their kid and raising their kid right.
And then they get to excel, succeed in life. Yeah. So those are 3 tools to create better self-awareness.
If you want to know more about them, reach out to either of us.
Have a fantastic day.